Ah, now you can hear me. Hello. This has been an absolute nightmare trying to set up. Everything's changed. Um, sorry for the slightly late start. Um, Hopefully you can hear me. And we are here for the Split 2 watch party for round 4. Oh, a new Prime sub. Thank you very much, Sangi. Round 4 of Split 2 of the GT3 World Tour at PLR from Hungaroring. And I'm about to get cracking. There we go. With some AM qualifying. Oh, you're very welcome. Full disclosure, I have just come back from the pub. After the last few days at work, I needed to get away for an hour or so after work before we started this, so I'm going to be very chatty. So let me know if you are in the chat and a driver in this. Make sure you are looked at some point. We are currently following Mr. Liam Deary on his return to Split 2. I think you were in round 1, Liam, and missed round 2 and 3, if I remember correctly. Mr. Stickboards. One of my favourite liveries in this split. But yeah, I haven't seen Liam's livery for a little bit. So I'm going to have a little look-see. Now, I'm imagining, as usual, probably about 15 minutes into this, my stream will go, I've had enough. And it will go slow for a bit, but it will sort itself out. It seems to have happened every time so far. Thank you for the follow, Masterball. I've got San Vito, we've got... oh, Dale's in the wall. I've just... Oh dear. Yeah, so it's wet, it turns out. Who else is out? Daniel's out. So we've got Michael. Michael, you better hope you're in the driver of the day poll, otherwise that's going to be awkward, isn't it? I know you're very keen to be on driver of the day poll, so I have an inkling what's going to happen later on in the race. I've had some suggestions from the admin as well who to add to that when we get there, so we will do that. I have it up to add to. We'll do it with about 5 minutes to go in the race. Take it from that. So, who do we have driving on the AM side tonight? Shall we have a flip through? Oh. You're in the pits, Matteo, so... Can you... it's because you're a silver driver. But there we go. I actually need to, at some point pull that together. So, we've got Ryan Reed, who is out and about in his McLaren. Art is still in the pits at this point. I think Ed has a quali ban. So, he will be staying there. Richard Mazan, our current AM leader, if I remember correctly, is out in his Bentley. We've got someone who shouldn't be out, so I have a feeling may well, if I remember the messages correctly from last night, his car may suddenly disappear in a second and disappear back to the pits. Antonio has a qualifying ban from the first 2 rounds. He wasn't at the 3rd round, so that carried over to the 4th round. He didn't get to skip penalties. So I think it was Antonio who I was hearing about last night in the chat, so he will disappear at some point. We have Joey Mility out in his McLaren. I like this McLaren. Hey Enrico, how you doing? Thanks for joining. We've got Daniel, who we followed for a little bit already in his Lexus. Dale, who is no longer in the wall, which is always good. Out in his BMW. We have the greatest footballer who ever lived, racing in his... I just looked at Aston. He's not in an Aston Martin. Alright, he's just jumped up the top. He's in the McLaren. He had a very good race last week from what I remember. So we'll see whether he can do it again. Good to have you with us, Dale. Well, to be fair, I wasn't actually watching you at the start, but we were watching Liam, and he came around the corner, and you were in the wall. So I could not mention it. Thank you, Bradley, for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. They seem to be working tonight, which is always a bonus. So not too many AMs, only 26, it seems. Starting. I mean, this is always the way with the World Tour. Oh, I think that's Mr. Eusebio having a spin. Tricky conditions out there. No, we try and start with 40 because we know there's going to be some, wastage over the course of a season. So as long as we end up with 25 in a race session, we're pretty happy. And then over time we'll slowly build it up, so maybe we can do 3 splits. The problem with starting with 3 splits of 30 is if you suddenly lose 10-15 people, that's not a very interesting race, especially if you have classes within those splits. 40 seems 2 splits of 40 seems the good point at the moment. Let's see whether that progresses over time. Who have I missed on the AM side? Enrico. Enrico is out and about. And I think we have... Amston Evers. In his gold Porsche. Ah, yes, I remember the gold Porsche. I don't know whether we got any confirmation last week. I can't remember as to whether Vitor and Jose know each other. They must do, because they're both in gold. They've got a little purpley thing going on in their livery as well. Vitor down the side of the windshield, and Jose kind of around the intake there, the front. You are? Okay, there we go. Confirmation. You may have told me last week, but you're our first-time chatter, so thank you for confirming. Just Portuguese. Which one of the two are you? Are you Jose, or are you Eusebio? Neves. Okay. Good to have you with us. There we go. My fantastic detective skills have been proven correct. We could do 50... No, we will not do 50-man splits again. I am not paid enough. By which I mean I'm not paid anything. Which is nowhere near enough to do a 50-man split again. Absolute carnage. 40 is bad enough at the start of a season with 2 splits, frankly. We only get through that because we know it dies down a bit. And ends up around 25-30. So. Enrico's in chat as well. Good to have you with us, Enrico. So who have we got leading the way at the moment? So from what I remember as to... And by the way, any 50-man AM only split. Oh, for God's sake. Yeesh. The person to complain to about weather at PLR is Conrad Seatter. It's nothing to do with me. And just to kind of confirm, because we had someone in Split 1 ask 30 minutes before the server went live yesterday, would we be willing to change the weather because he doesn't like rain? Just in case you didn't see that answer, the answer is no. The general idea is we have one guaranteed wet race every season, that's this one, and then a couple of changeable, 2 or 3 changeable races with varying likelihoods of weather. So Spa was one of those changeable ones. I think Silverstone is a changeable one as well. It just so happens that Spa was wet in places, wet enough, and Hungaroring is kind of one of those full wets, but not flooded, just kind of medium-ish wet. We can't have it dry every race. That's just not exciting, is it? Right. So Ryan Reed, provisional poll at the moment, and we must be coming close to the end. Yeah, exactly. You need to make it kind of interesting. Yeah. So. Oh yeah. Okay, Tom, you can steward that one. Oh God. like PTSD thinking back to those 50 people splits. I was racing in them at that time as well. Absolute carnage. Yeesh. Hey, but it's a good sign that we can get 2 splits out. If we get to a point where we get 3 splits out, where we don't have to do the classes, we're going to have a pro split, a silver split, and an AM split. That would be ideal. Mainly because I wouldn't have to manually do the SGP scores every week, which is a bit of a pain. But we'll see. We need enough to allow for people inevitably dropping out, whether that just be because of life, because they never intended to see it out in the first place, or because they threw their toys out the pram and quit because something didn't go their way. It's a pretty even split between those 3 over the last 4 or 5 seasons as to why people leave. Unfortunately, it's not real life. You haven't paid however much for your car and your license and etc to get in. You're gonna take part. That's not how it works in the sim world, so we need to adjust accordingly. Right, so Mr. Reed still leading the way. That's a very good lap. I don't actually know the times because it's a replay, but Ryan showing some pace ahead of Mazan. Enrico's up there. Jose's up in 4th. The man whose first name I still can't pronounce correctly, Mr. McGrady. No, that charging a deposit is something we will never do. People pay enough for sim racing, as it is. Yes, Lisa. Yeah, I know it's shocking, isn't it? As long as I have say in the matter, we will not be charging for entries to championships. Oh, you're a Jose, not a Jose. Sorry, I used to date a Mexican. Jose. I will note that. Alright, so I think the AMs have finished. Which means Ryan Reed is putting on pole. I don't know whether Ryan is in the chat. But good evening. Good to have you with us. But Ryan is putting on pole. I'm pretty sure that's Ryan's first pole. So congratulations, Ryan. Very good. See, yeah, okay. So it's what? Tig. Are we going Tig? We'll go Tig. Okay. And this is from a man who lived in Dublin for 2 years. I really should know better, but I struggle enough with Niamh and Siobhan, frankly. Right. It's Irish, I think. So Reed from Mazan, from Ferreira, who should not have been out there. Quite possibly. Welcome to the Irish community. Spent far too long in-house in Dublin. I'm well versed in the Irish community. Peter is in 5th. There we go. Ryan is in chat. Congratulations, Ryan, for your poll. Yeah, in the wet as well. Always a sign of a good driver if you can show relative pace in the wet. So congratulations. Enrico in 6th. Tig, maybe in 7th. Dale in 8th. There we go. Yes. How on earth that's pronounced Niamh? Nobody will ever know. Siobhan is even a stranger. But anyway. Joey down in 9th. Daniel in 10th. Liam in 11th. And then Art. Ed had a qualifying ban, and Art doesn't appear to have set a lap. What I can see. So, who do we have on the silver side? Matteo, who I think is in chat, is out and about. It was his debut last week. Andreas, who was definitely in chat last week. You're a hard D. Dale, I don't want to talk about your hard D. I've not had enough drink to talk about that. So we'll move swiftly on. Zorchich is out and about. Potential driver of the day, Michael Goodrum, is out and about. Bradley hopefully has a slightly better race than last week. Jeffrey and one of my favourite liveries is back. No qualifying ban this week for Jeffrey. Race winner last week. You said my Barca win was my first in PLR. It was my 6th and 7th win. Was it really? Sorry, what's your SGP name? I'm useless at converting Twitch names to SGP names. You've probably told me twice. Now you are kind of an original, aren't you, Lucas? You were here when I joined, I think, back in kind of season 1, season 2. So I apologise for not remembering all your previous wins. I'm gonna go since we started doing the split system in kind of season 4, season 5. You're always there or thereabouts. But since I've started paying attention to the quick people, which is only recently, because when I joined I was not quick. I'm still not quick. You were always ahead of me. It's good to have you back with us and racing again, Lucas. Giving comrades some competition, which is always good. So we've got Chaz out and about as well. I think I mentioned Anthony, who won last week. Got Jury. Right, you're in chat, I know. Is that Jury? Just call you Steakfort. One of my favourite. Okay, so this is a soft J. So we got Yuri, like a Yuri. Okay, cool. I'll go with that. So we got a hard J Josie, soft J Yuri. I'll try and remember that. We got Igor Napich out and about in his Lexus. Who else have I missed? Chris Southcott. Who, if I remember, does not last very long from a Discord message I may have seen yesterday. We've got David Ogden as well. Hang on. Did you change colours? He's changed colours. How dare you? I'm used to... Have you just changed the kind of the British racing green to a blue and everything else is the same? But I'm used to Dave... Yeah, exactly, Bradley. I'm used to Dave being in a dark green. Clearly my comments last week has caused David to turn over a new leaf and choose some new colours. So there we go. I need to take a quick look at the Discord because I've been busy and not looked at what we need to look at. So lap 2, lap 3, lap 17. Okay, to be fair, tonight, everyone in chat, you're just going to have to shout at me in chat when to look at things. I've not had time to pull it into a spreadsheet. Got some lap 2, lap 3, lap 14. Joys of a replay is we can just stop it and go back if we need to. T4 of last lap. Okay, we'll figure it out. So while this is going on, actually, I posted a message on this yesterday in the main chat because I didn't stream last night because work. It's year-end auditing time, which is great fun. And auditors throw you last-minute questions with a strict deadline, which they've made up. So I didn't get to stream last night, and it's something we've been looking at because, I mean, as much as I like streaming, I would rather be driving. So we are looking at options for broadcasting, which firstly won't rely on me not having to work late, and also be more consistent and allow us to cover more things, right? Because we have a Thursday league we aren't covering currently. We have a Wednesday race room league, which is actually, I think, potentially one of the most active race room leagues on SGP. It's very good touring cars. It's good fun. That we want to do. We want potentially to start streaming some of the endurance races. I can't do that. So yeah, I might do that for next week, Ed. To be fair, I might do a Google form similar to one we use for the incident reporting. It's probably easier, especially because I ask people to do it in a certain format and most people just ignore it. If I do it in a Google form, they have to stick to the format. Yeah, so we are looking into it. Potentially, we may have someone testing out streaming this Monday for the Split 1 race, round 5. That's what I do. I normally go through the Discord channel and manually make my own spreadsheet, which I sort by that. Just haven't had time today. I mean, admittedly, I did go down the pub, but you know, it was needed. It was medicine. But yeah, so potentially we'll have someone looking at that. Yes, I will. Because I want to race again. Because it turns out it's not very fun adminning and broadcasting all the time and not racing. It also means I'm horribly out of practice. We did the driver swap on Sunday and I was useless. So, Greg, if you're watching, I apologise. Imola, one of my better tracks, I was very, very bad. So yeah, I only ever stepped in originally just to kind of help with the 2 splits because, you know, one of the things about PLR is we want to not treat Split 1 and Split 2 differently if we can possibly avoid it. Now, admittedly, we aren't doing Split 2 live at the moment, but that's only because we have one broadcaster, which is me, since Craig left. So the season before we did them both live simultaneously, which is why we started doing this watch party, which I actually enjoy. And the watch party is something I would potentially continue doing myself. So we would have the broadcaster doing the live races, and then, you know, I quite like this. It's a lot more chilled out for me, and it means I can race on the Monday. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. There's been a lot of stuff going on over the last couple of weeks, trying to move everything across from Craig and things like that, and the start of a new season, which is always busy. So we're getting there, and hopefully by the time we get to next season, we'll have kind of more things sorted. Because I know broadcasting is a big deal for drivers, right? You all enjoy it. Everyone likes watching themselves back, especially if they do well. And it's part of it. It's fun. So we're trying. We'll get there. And that brings us to, you know, at some point we're going to have to start pushing donations. Like I said before, all the racing here forever will be free, as long as I have a say in it. But we will start pushing donations again for those who are in a position and want to, because that will then help cover costs for, you know, practice servers and broadcasting and things like that. So we'll see. No, exactly. I mean, to be fair, the reason behind the watch party was thank you, Jeffrey, for the gifted sub. As we just have a chat during qualifying here, I don't even know who's in pole. One of the things Papa does after the Split 1 races is he does a Discord stream, right, where he goes through the incidents, and it's pretty chilled out, and it's a good way for drivers just to kind of calm down a bit as well if something bad's happened to them, and foster a sense of community and all that kind of jazz. And I know those streams of Papa are very popular. You look at the voice chat on Discord after a Stream 1 race, there's like 30 people in there. You've even got people like Art, who isn't even in Stream 1, going in to join it and watch it. So I'll be honest, I shamelessly nicked that idea for this, because it's good for interaction, right? Because people are watching themselves rather than driving. So fortunately, and thank you to Split 2 for going along with it, it seems to have worked quite well. You know, it's the best we can do. If you can't be live, at least you can watch yourself the day after. So yeah, it's gone okay so far, I think. Right, we should probably look at the race. Surprise, surprise, I had a feeling this might happen. Michael Goodrum is in pole position currently. Someone's sideways there. He's just finished up, so he's got pole. Bradley in second. Changing colours, Dave Ogden in third. Andreas is in fourth. So the usual suspects at the top for the Silvers. Good qualifying there from Evo in fifth. Jeffrey in sixth. Round 3 winner Anthony down in seventh in the Aston, which is normally quite good in the wet. Yuri down in eighth. Felipe in ninth. Oh, Felipe, we haven't actually said hello to you. Hello, Felipe. Don't know whether we've got the Felipe fan club in chat again, but I'll look at him more in the race. Chris Southcott in 10th. Almost time to relive the first lap. Okay. Lots to see, is there? He got that pitch in 11th. And there we go. Ryan Reed has pipped a couple of Silvers. He's pipped Chaz Abraham and Matteo Sanvito, unless Matteo can pull a lap out of the bag here. So why don't we just watch him here as he comes around. I mean, you probably all know the answer to this. Like, oh, and the replay's ended. Good. We'll never know. Did he beat the time? I mean, will he start 14th? God. Right. Let me pull up. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, make him work. Quite right, too. Let me pull up the silver standings for you while I switch over to the race replay. So we've got now Michael. I know you're in chat, so he's grayed out here. That's because he's changed his name. So the real Michael G will have 254 points plus however many he got on this race again. Don't worry. He is just behind Andreas and just ahead of, only 2 points ahead of Dave Ogden. Jeffrey Witter in fourth. I just need to press pause on this. Morner in fifth. Napich joined fifth. Oh, joined fifth. Very exciting. Yuri in sixth. Chaz in seventh. Andrew has unfortunately had to pull out because of an elbow operation. Gorolini in ninth. Anthony Fox, who I think you missed around, didn't you, Anthony? Which means despite winning a race, you are down in 10th. And then Southcott, Zoricic, Gallant, Callum, who I don't think was here last night, and Matteo, who's only just started. So that's us on the silver side. So we're looking at Andreas, Michael, and Dave Ogden leading the way there. So we'll keep an eye on them. Then on the AM side, we've got Richard Mazan leading the way. Very comfortably indeed. Bob Jones has unfortunately had to pull out because he's been dragged on a road trip around Europe by his wife. It's a hard life. He was sending pictures in the admin chat today. He was at Le Mans, so I feel so bad for you, Bob. But he was having a very good start to the season, so it's a shame he's had to drop out. Then we've got Eusebio in third, technically second. Level on points? Yeah, level on points with Joe Ability. And then Jose Neves, fourth. So the teammates, 13 points separating them currently. Then we've got Enrico, Art, Simon, who I don't think's here, Darko, Dale, Tig, Thomas, who I also don't think is here, and Daniel. Same with Ian. And Ryan, who's down in 15th, but has put it on pole, so he could jump up quite a lot. Right, let's switch back gameplay. Right, so what am I looking out for on lap 1? Let's get it going, and you can tell me what I'm looking for. Your only goal is to beat. Well, it's always the first goal in F1, isn't it? Beat your teammate. As long as you beat your teammate, you're more than likely to keep your job, unless you're in Haas, in which case you just get rid of everyone. What we'll probably do is just kind of look overall at lap 1 and dig into a couple of things as and when we see them. It's the joys of replays. We can go backwards and forwards a bit the first couple of laps until things settle down. So Chaz has a penalty. I mean, I'm probably going to just skip ahead a little bit because we don't need to sit here for 4 minutes. There we go. Right, so it's still wet, and we're off in the formation lap. We've got Matteo is still down in 14th. He didn't set a faster lap. It's a shame. So Gudrun from Ogden from Gallant, Sorensen, Zoricic, Witter, Fox, Steepwalt, Warner, Southcott, Napich, Reed, Abraham, Sanavito, Mazan, Neves, Carrera, who should be starting from the pits. He is. Eusebio, Itri, McGrady, Atkins, Meliti, Moran, Deary, Orr, and Revrock pits. Lord Shura, is that Mr. Eusebio himself? There he is in his Golden McLaren. Right. So what we'll do is, so Hungary's an interesting one, right? Because you've got that relatively tight chicane in the middle, which I don't think I've ever done in the wet in ACC. I wonder how brave people are going to be yeeting it through there in the wet. You can gain a lot of time. It's a bit like the chicane at Imola. If you're brave, you can gain a lot of time, but there's a lot of risk that goes along with it. Yeah. And then you've got that kink at the end of sector 1 as well, which is going to be very interesting in the rain as well, because that's difficult enough in the dry to carry the speed through and not understeer completely wide. I'm imagining T1, they're breaking down into T1, the kink at the end of sector 1, which is what, probably turn 4, technically? And then the chicane. And maybe the last corner as well are going to be the main issue points, because the last corner is kind of never ending. You're going around it forever, trying to get on the power down the start-finish straight. And so quite easy to lose it there in the dry, let alone the wet. Right, let's see what happens, shall we? I'm going to hover above Evo. So we'll see kind of the first 10 cars here for the first bit of the lap. And then we'll flick back and watch the start of the race again for further back in the field. So don't worry, we will hopefully see everything. And feel free to shout at me in chat as well if there's a specific thing you want to look at. It's always nerve-wracking enough, isn't it, doing a start in the dry, let alone in the wet. Hungary with one of the probably hardest braking T1s. Nürburgring is probably harder. You've got a good old run down to it here, so you're going pretty quick. Ooh, that's, I think, Mr. Abraham hitting someone, but no spins, or maybe one spin. Okay, all looking relatively clean so far. Jeffrey going up the inside, and like I said, I'll pop back. So this is Dave Ogden behind Michael, I think. No, not a bad T1 at all things considered. Yeah, there's the kink. Okay. That's okay. Right, so we're about... I'm going to watch the front until the end of lap 1, then we're going to go back and watch from the back. Just to make sure nothing happens. So we'll watch lap 1 twice. As my timing screen completely messes up there. But looks as though Michael's kept his lead at the front. Evo's lost a place or two, but all seem... And Anthony's made up a couple of places, potentially. All looks relatively clean at the front here at the moment, lap 1, which is not a bad effort, considering the weather. So I think Dave's got ahead of Bradley. And potentially Evo's lost a couple of places to Witter and Fox. I think those are the main things. I did see Yuri get hit by Chaz. Unfortunately, didn't send him into a spin. But that's what I saw. I'm not seeing anyone massively out of position at the back. You see people come through. Okay, that all looks pretty reasonable. So leading the way at the end of lap 1 is Michael, and we're going to just pop back. Hubba hubba hubba. Here we go. Oh, can I find it? Who knows? That is after the start. Just pop back a bit. Here I can. Right. Let's look from Dale's perspective, because Dale's been very unlucky for what feels like 2 seasons now, and normally gets hit by someone. So it's always a good starting place. He's got a good start. He's had to back out of it. So I think we're going to see Chaz going to the back of Yuri here. Yep. But everyone just about gets away with it there. I think that's Igor Napic there who's being pushed off. But all things considered, that's pretty good. That's not bad. See if anything else develops. It's Chaz and Jose having a little touchy-feely there. But Jose is ahead of Eusebio. Let's just go a bit further back. Daniel there having a bit of a fight. I think Igor... Yeah, Igor. Oh! Ah! There's something. Right, that's... Oh! Right. Okay. Right. Back. We have stuff. This doesn't look good. I knew there had to be some... Yeah. Okay. Where are you? You are there. What happens, Jose? Little bump. Oh, he's gone off. He's trying to avoid him. Yeah, okay. And you've got on the grass. Oh, and you've come back and hit Mazan. Okay, that's a Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events, I think. I want to look at... Where are you? Where is he? Mr. Mazan. This guy's gone off. Chaz gone left to avoid him. He's hit Jose. Jose's lost it on the grass. Taken out. Who is number 18? Oh dear, he's been taken out twice in the matter of moments. That's Chris Southcott. Ah, so that's why Mr. Southcott was not happy. So what's happened? He's lost it all by himself. The Audi doesn't like the wet, to be fair. He's then come back across. Chaz has gone a bit to the left, and then we're going to see Mazan clip him in the back. Oh no. Okay. I'm not sure I'd apportion any real blame there, to be honest. That's a tough one. Always, yeah, lost it again. The flashbacks, yeah. And I saw Eusebio going off as well, but I mean that just seemed a whole lot of people trying to... I could see what Chaz was doing, right? You could see Chris coming back onto the track. Maybe he should have been aware that Jose was to his left, but he moved left. That pushed Jose onto the grass. Jose lost it on the grass, came back, hit Mazan, who then hit Southcott again. The blue and yellow Bentley on... Yeah, Chaz. I mean, we'll have a quick look at that, and then we'll move on, otherwise we'll be here all night. Who came on from... Eusebio was the only one of the Portuguese team from the 60s I remember, or the 50s I remember, so no idea. Right, where is Chad? Where did this happen? There, it happened right there. Right, so that's... Oh, little bump there, but that's fine. And then he's looking at this. Yeah, he's probably... I don't think he needed to move that far to the left, right? There's space, but I think potentially he thought Chris was coming all the way across. You know, it's a tough one. I have some sympathy. You want to watch from the outside? Okay. We'll watch one more time and then we're moving on because otherwise we're going to be here all night. Right, we'll watch from there. I think he thought Chris was coming further across. Yeah, it's... Oh, and then that's not on Chaz. Yeah, it's not deliberate. It's not perfect, but I have some sympathy as to why that could happen. Let's put it that way. Unfortunately, it's made worse by the fact that Jose loses it on the grass and comes back and hits Richard, who then hits Chris again. The actual kind of touch onto the grass isn't that big of a deal. Except it's wet and it led to carnage. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine that's one of those things where if it's gone to the stewards, 3 stewards will have 3 different views of it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Right, what am I looking at in lap 2? I saw some lap 2 stuff in Discord, so shout at me in chat if I need to look at something in lap 2. As we head round. Let's go helicam for a bit while everyone's still close. Ooh, as I hit the microphone with my keyboard, apologies. Yeah, I'm not sure that the radar should have picked him up. He did move quite far to the left, that was the issue. Potentially the radar, because Jose was behind him, to the left, and Chaz moved quite hard to the left. The radar might not have picked it up. End of lap 2. Okay, sorry, Draco, who are you again? I'm sorry, I will learn who you are. Stick ball. Thank you. Thank you. You did. Okay. Oh, I'm going to stick with this for now. We're going to go 3 wide on lap 2 in the wet in Hungary. Not quite. Ah, see, that's the kink. That's the kink doing kinky things. That is not an easy thing to go through 2 wide in the wet. I've accidentally gone to Dave Ogden there. But that was all relatively clean, hard fought. That's fine. So we've got stick ball back here. Things are about to get tasty. Let's have a look. So Michael and Dave have kind of buggered off at the front. They've got a couple of seconds from Sorensen. He's battling with Bradley. Jeffrey waiting in the wings. Evo's managed not to kill anyone, so that's good. Yeah, no, that's what I figured, Chaz. Yeah, that was my viewing of it as well. You saw him coming off the wall, coming left, back onto the track. You moved left because you didn't know how far across he was going to come. Yeah, for me, that's a racing incident in my eyes. It's just unfortunate as to how it then unfolded afterwards. Right. So you're chasing down Anthony Fox here. Yeah, it's all good. There's no blame game here. It's all good. This is good. Yeah, shit happens in racing, right? Nobody does things deliberately. Well, if you do, you won't be in the league for long, as we have found out already in Split 2. You know, and that's why we have the license point system. There's things, because even if you don't do it deliberately, some things people need to learn that you can't do. That wasn't one of those. That looked like a racing incident to me. This is a good little battle there. And Anthony, I think you're in chat. I was actually chatting to it's a very good livery, isn't it? I enjoy it a lot. I was chatting to Greg Sunday in the driver swap when you were behind us. You have come a long way. We talk about how people have improved in PLR. People like Enrico Parise, Ivo Zoricic, Dale has improved immeasurably since they started. Anthony is now in that group of people. has improved massively since he joined the PLR. I think this is his first GT3 season with us after a couple in the GT4s. Really, really consistent, good racer. So it's good to see you continuing to improve, Anthony. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think one of the bonuses of the incident reporting thing, we look at lap 1 incidents in the stewards, because, you know, people need to learn to just take it easy on lap 1, right? We don't want people being kicked out of the race on lap 1 through no fault of their own. That's something drivers need to learn to race. You just need to show a bit of patience. So we look at those. Also, we don't have 3 days to look through all the incidents. And then after that, if a driver feels strongly about it, they can submit an incident. If they don't, then it's just, you know, part and parcel of the game. Then they don't, and it's fine. But lap 1 stuff we will always look at, I think. Right, what else is close? So Richard, who was caught up in that lap 1 incident, his bumper's not particularly happy there. So we're going to keep an eye on that Yuri-Anthony battle, I think. So that's for 7th and 8th. We'll keep an eye on that. There's some tasty stuff going on back here. So let's see what's going on. Let's go from rear to front. So we've got Liam at the back. Well, we've got Chris Southcott at the back. I think he's going to give up soon, if I remember the message correctly. But he was, yeah... binned it himself and then was put back into the wall, so that's unfortunate. Liam Deary in 25th. Got Igor Napic, who I think was also potentially caught up early doors in something. I did see his Lexus to the side of the road. He's down in 24th. Revrock, who started in the pits, is in 23rd. Art is in 22nd, so potentially something's happened to Art. Ferreira, who also started in the pits, he's up to 21st, but he has a 20-second penalty, I think. Daniel Moran, and I will come to penalties because we've had various people ask questions, so I'll come to that. Daniel Moran in 20th, Joey Meliti in 19th. That is not a very happy. I don't know what it is with Split 2 and McLarens, but you all seem to like to bump the front of them. We saw it a lot in Spa, and I'm going to keep an eye on this because I wonder if Daniel's going to make a move down to Team 1. Thanks for joining the stream. Much appreciated. And apologies for not streaming Split 1 yesterday. No, Daniel's not made a move there. Although, Joey has run a bit wide there, so we'll see whether he makes a move. Yeah, you can't just... Right. I think it was a mess. Right, we're looking at this one. Because this, I don't think you can do. On the last lap, okay, we'll look at that. Yeah, okay. Daniel, I don't know whether you're in chat. No, this isn't malicious. You can't... He has nowhere to go here. You can't just turn in on him and take your normal line through the corner. Unfortunately, I think that one is on you. Oh, the last... Sorry, you mean the previous lap, not the last lap. So we've got Michael leading the way from Dave Ogden still, up to nearly 3 seconds. Not sure how... 3 seconds to then Sorensen, Bradley still behind him. Jeffrey Witter in 5th, Zorachich 6th. And then you've still got Stigford and Fox. And there you go. Is this where he's going to make a move? Little battle this. Yeah, nice. Good stuff. That was Vitor and Enrico Itri having a battle. Okay, right. Oh, this is close as well. Ryan Reed. So Ryan still leading the way in AM class. He put it on pole, and he's still leading the way from Dale. Sorry, Dale. I don't mean to sound so surprised. Normally, you've been taken out by someone at this point. So Dale second in AM class. Keep an eye on that. Dale and his hard D. Currently running 12th on the road, second in class, ahead of Jose Neves. Right, I want to run on board with someone for a lap. Well, what lap are we on? That's 6. Okay, we're going to follow Michael towards the end of the lap. And we're going to run on board for a lap. Yeah, because normally you've been punted at this point. I'm not used to you actually, not being taken out on lap 3 by someone spinning in front of you. So, I'm delighted to see you up there. Deserve a bit of luck. Right. Hopefully, Michael, I've chosen a good lap for you. We are about to go on board with the race leader on lap number 7. Let's see what he's got for us. He's sounding confident in chat. He's a confident young man, and you did very well with Papa in the driver's swap as well. Much better than we did in the sister Lexus, that's for sure. Down into T1. Turned in nicely. Braking probably around the curb. Yeah, start the curb. Down to first. That extra rotation. Is he going to keep it flat through here? Not quite. Or not in the wet, I suppose. Right, how's he going to take the kink? Where's he going to brake? End of the curb. Down to third. Down to second. Okay, taking it very safely in the wet. Around this. Hungary has a few never-ending corners that you're just kind of coasting around forever until you can get on the power. To the chicane, down to first. Yeah, nicely cuts over the second half of that. That's fine. Nice! Yeah, over to the left there. You can cut that a lot in the dry. Maybe a little bit riskier in the wet. No, decent lap so far. He's going to keep it flat through here. Not quite, almost. Down to third. Braking around the start of the curves again. We're going first or second? We're going down to first. And then braking around the bridge. Yep. Down to first again. You're going to drift wide. Not as wide as you could go there. And then the never-ending final corner. You've actually gone down to first for it there. Turned in. Straighten it up. A little bit squirrely on exit, but decent lap there, Michael. Very good indeed. And that's why he's nearly 3 seconds clear of Dave Ogden in second place. Who I still feel cheated by the fact that he's changed the colour of his car. So, are Fox and Yuri still having a lap? Not currently. Oh, Ryan's had an issue. So Dale is leading the way. I'm not sure what happened to Ryan. Liam's with us. Hope the desk building went well. So Ryan's had an issue in that lap while we were with Michael. Oh, Josie getting a bit squirrely in the background there. And, oh yeah, you did, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's down to 14th. Oh, did you murder Ed? Oh, conveniently we have missed that. Was that a tactical desk building exercise you've done there? So we've got Dale Atkins leading the way. End of lap 6. Unfortunately, we are already onto lap 8. You had it. Okay, so you had it. That's what happened to you. You had it coming together with San Vito. Okay, he's dropped down as well. Sorry, Lisa. Yeah, too many things going on. Too many pints drunk. Bradley's still having a good ding dong with Sorensen as well. So the closest battle seems to be Sorensen and Bradley. Fox and Yuri are still going at it, but they've gained a place because Jeffrey's dropped down to 14th. Who else? And then we've got. Oh, we've just joined Chaz as he gets a bit squirrely there into the final sector. Okay, I see. Yeah. Then we're going to have Bentley versus McLaren down the start-finish straight here. Two very different looking cars. I'm not sure I'd like in real life to have a Bentley behind me. Just he's gone deep. He's gone very deep there. You're not getting that stopped. Bentley, not great on the brakes in the best of times. So Chaz getting a bit over ambitious there down into T1. Now, well, we'll just stay with Chaz for a bit because he's battling with everyone. He's now fighting with San Vito, I think, and Jeffrey Witter trying to make his way back through as well. So, poor old Matteo has double Bentley behind him. It's bad enough having one massive Bentley behind you, which isn't very good on the brakes. He's now got two. So let's follow this for a sec. Also seeing Ferreira and Napic are pretty close together as well. Now, while the Bentley isn't good on the brakes, it can just ignore all the curbs. So, you know, as Jeffrey is doing there in the background, especially with the chicane, just yeet it right over the middle of them. That's one of the things I missed at Imola on Sunday. I normally drive the Bentley, and trying to take the chicane not in the Bentley is not as fun. Turns out you actually have to turn and not just kind of aim it in the middle and hold the accelerator, which is deeply disappointing. Right. Can we... There we go, this is where I want to look. I want to come down. Yeah, I was in the Lexus. It was not fun. Right. Will Chaz get it stopped in time this time round? Down into T1. He's looking up the inside again. He's getting closer. And he gets it stopped. Actually turned it in quite nicely. Now he's going to have another look up the inside into T2. And he gets it stopped again. It's like being followed by two eager puppies, isn't it? That like kind of massive, like kind of what's a massive dog that's bigger than it actually thinks it is? And they're just, you know, they're behind you, they're following you. At some point, they are going to knock you over. Oh, he's gone. Got a bit squirrely in the background. I don't think that was a touch from Jeffrey. I think he's just lost it. Interesting to see what Chaz's TC is actually. Seems to be losing it quite a bit. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't think it was. It's TC 6. I'm surprised he's losing it as much on Poplar as he seems to be. Potentially he's running a dry setup if he didn't realise it was going to be a wet race, and that might be causing him issues. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at Enrico, and then we're going to go back to the Bradley Gallant Sorensen battle, I think. You lost it. You're in the eventful race for you, Chaz. Very eventful. Were you running a dry setup just with wet tyres and higher TC, or were you actually running a wet setup? I don't think Enrico's going to be close enough here. We'll just follow it around. to the start from the straight. Well, he might be, you know. Is he going to have a look? Is he going to think about it? He is. He is going to have a look. Nah, he's backed out of it. He was just showing his... Oh! It's worked perfectly. He showed his nose, and Richard is trying to brake late, and he's overdone it, and Enrico is through. Nice move. Nice little sneaky look. Just didn't have it... Well, okay, yeah, okay. That explains it then. Explains why you were... seemed a bit unstable. It's hard enough when you've got a setup right for it, let alone if you don't, regardless of how high you put your TC. Right, I think we are coming towards the end of lap number 11, so I'm going to follow for our second onboard lap Bradley Gallant around as he tries to chase down Sorensen. So, show us what you got, Bradley. This is a bad view. Hang on, let's find a better one. That's not much better. Alright, we're going to go bonnet cam. Too much spray. The Bradley in the Lamborghini. I think he was a DNF at Spa. And then Sorensen in the BMW. Oh yes, it's the licorice BMW. I remember now. It's all coming back to me now. Has Dave Ogden had a problem there? I think he has, but suddenly it's a three-way battle. I'm pretty sure that's Dave Ogden just ahead of Sorensen there. So I think, yeah, so it's now Dave's 9 seconds behind. So Dave's had a problem in the first sector. Michael's loving it. He's now 10 seconds clear. Down to the chicane we come. Bradley being very... Look how careful Bradley's being with the curves compared to what we've seen some of the Bentleys do. And even the BMW, a little bit squirrely there from Sorensen. Bradley being so careful with the curves. Yep, not touching them there. Yeah. Yeah, it's really telling, having kind of looked at some of the other cars, how the lines they take, how careful you're being. Nowhere near it here. I think you're a little bit kind of better with kind of the exit curves, but the apex curves you are staying way away from, which is very interesting to see. Right, who else is battling? Who haven't we seen yet? Let's have a look-see. Who haven't we said hello to? That's a hello to Art. Where is Art? Art is in the 20th and is right behind. Oof, very close indeed behind Joey Miletti. So, oh, no, he's got a bit squirrely out the chicane. But again, as always, a big thank you to Art. He runs the race control app for us in Split 2. So we can punish you all for being bad boys. Yeah, right, so... Oh, Napic has a stop-go 30. Igor, I'm not sure whether you're in the chat. He's had an eventful race. He got a lap 1 incident. He's now got a stop-go 30. He's got Dale Atkins coming up to lap him. Dale's still leading the way at the front of AM class. And do you know what? I think that means our next onboard lap is going to be with a certain Mr. Dale Atkins. Ooh. Curbs? What curbs? That's a line. He's still got Jose Neves pretty close behind him, and Ryan Reed, who was the pole sitter in the AM class, not far behind either. Just see him coming around the back there. So the front three in AM, there's 5 seconds total separating them. Speeded in the pits and fitted dry tyres. Ouch. Is that Nappich we're talking about here? If that's so, that's a shocker. Dale certainly closed up to him a lot this lap. Right. Tell you what, we're going helmet cam. He's got no spray, so we're in Dale's head, everybody. It's terrifying, isn't it? But here we go, down to T1. Is he driving a car or a vacuum cleaner? Again, there you can see the difference. Dale riding that apex curve, very different to what Bradley was doing in the Lambo. So nicely there. Right, down towards the kink we come. How's Dale going to take it? Race leader went down to second. Dale also going to second, and right over that curve. Nicely done. No fear from Dale there. Decent lap so far. Tennis again. Is he going to ignore this second? Yes, he is. He's going to ignore the second curb. Right over that one. This is fantastic. This is, if you've got a car that can do it, this is what you should be doing. This is very good. Turning nicely there. Probably run a little bit wider there, but good. Going to go down to first here. Keeping second, down to first he goes. Tucked in. Again, ride the curb on the inside. So different to how Bradley's having to take it. Down to first again. Tucked in nice and tight there. To the final corner. Never ending, waiting to get on the power. He stays in second. We saw Michael go down to first there to get it kind of turned in and on the power a little earlier. But very nice, Dale. Nothing wrong with that lap at all, my friend. Driving that BMW seems to suit you. But what we have now is Sorensen and Ogden having a fight. So a couple of laps ago we saw Dave Ogden have an issue and lose about 5 seconds. So we'll follow him for a bit. Oh, hang on, what's happened here? Is that a pit? I think that's a pit. I think Bradley's pitted and come out in 16th. Well, suddenly Bradley's right down here. I know you're in chat, Bradley. Just let me know if that was the case. See a certain Mr. Deary beginning to pick up the places at the back as well, up to 21st. Well, down to 22nd now. Okay. There it is. I must admit I've missed delivery, Liam. I do quite like this one. I mean that's very easy for me to say compared to some of your. I like the bubble one, to be fair. The bubble one I was a fan of. That was in the GT4s or the multi-class. I can't remember which one that was exactly. And it was a shame we didn't get to run the Christmas ones more. Because Kunos completely messed up their patch, which was nice of them. I do like that livery, it's very nice. Liam currently up to 21st. Let's see where he ends up. Sorensen's in the pits. It told me he was 2 tenths away from someone. Not sure who he's 2 tenths away from sitting there. Okay. People in the chat who I have not been on board with yet and you would like to have a view of yourself driving around a wet Hungaroring, let me know. We've got about, how many laps have we got left? 15 laps, we're halfway through. So let me know if you would like to have me go around with you. Jose, Dale's in the pits. My timing screen is all messed up. I don't know who is where. Zoricic is up to third. And Fox is past Yuri Stickboard as well. We must have missed that. Take a quick look at the Discord just to make sure there's anything major. We can do that, Liam. I enjoy a stuffed up lap. We can talk about it. That's absolutely fine. I also need to get lap 17. We will. I need to go Yuri's lap 17. I need to look at Yuri, I think. And I need to look at Morna as well, apparently. So where is Morna? When does he pit? Hard to tell. Where does he pit? Potentially this lap? Where is the pit in there? Can't tell. Right, so Yuri's coming in. So apparently we need to look at Yuri's out lap. So we've got about 30 seconds. Now, okay, so now's the time for confession in the chat. Who fucked up their pit stops? Because I've read in quite a few places now that people either forgot to change tyres or put on dries. Now, one's worse than the other, but they're both pretty bad. So Michael didn't, but Jeffrey did. So Jeffrey put on dries. I'm going to go over Mr. Stupid. Is he moving it? He's not moving it. I think potentially Dale as well. Liam. Missed the tyre change. Yeah, okay. Right, Yuri's about to go, so we're going to watch him for a bit. So Bradley, yours doesn't seem as bad. Like 5 seconds is not as bad as having to do a whole other pit stop. Seems some others had some shockers. Right, what's going to go on? There's some weird artifacts going on there. Let's change to a TV. Are we about to have a battle? Is that Warner in the background? It is. Okie doke. Right. So we've got two birds with one stone here. What is going to happen? Right, so Morna's already had, so his tyres are up to temperature. Okay. This is double McLaren. I haven't actually seen a lot of Morna tonight, so it's good to get him a bit of airtime. Take a run down to T1. He's very conservative on the throttle there. I'm surprised his TC is 4 of 12 in the wet. It seems quite low. Out comes Daniel. I think we should be good there. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this battle as well then. I saw... So Andreas has been close to people all race, it seems. He's either had Bradley right behind him for 4 in the McLaren. Oh, is it? Okay, interesting. Seems a bit low, but I've not really driven the McLaren, so I don't really know, to be fair. That's interesting. I never change my engine mat in the wet. Ever. I just change the TC and the brake balance. I always keep it max. Well, yes, Liam, I think I mentioned this on one of the previous. I do not like the sound of BMW. I'm about to go on board with Andreas for that. No, I've never seen the need. I keep it in the highest, the fastest engine map, whether that be 1 or 8, depending on if you're in the Porsche or not, I guess. Just change the TC and the brake balance. Yeah, okay, flooded is maybe a different kettle of fish, but in my eyes, I'm not a genius at ACC, but I believe people like Papa and Conrad agree with this. The other engine modes are only really for endurance races where you're trying to save fuel, like eke out a 70-minute stint or something like that. You're going to go quicker if you just keep it in engine map 1 and crank up the TC a little bit if you need to. Those downshift, it sounds like it's not happy every time. Like someone's just got a bag of ball bearings and is just punching it. To be fair, the upshift doesn't sound much better either. So there we go. But I do quite like the livery, so he's got that going for him, at least. Right, so we've got just over 10 laps left, I think. It's just very, depressed is a good word for it. It's just all very subdued. If you compare it to this is beautiful. I love the sound. Lovely sounding car. You see, I think that's Nappage in front, continuing his eventful race. But yeah, compare the sound of the BMW we're just into the sound of this Audi. Is Lambo just not the same as the Audi? I'm just going to keep on this until we see what happens in the end. I was on board with Alexis all of Sunday. It doesn't sound as good as an Audi. Going down the outside of the chicane, that's brave. He's done it. So let's take a. So Evo is pitting now from P1. Anthony is pitting from P2. I have a feeling I've seen somewhere that Anthony's pit stop goes horrendously wrong as well. Got Matteo in 3rd. Michael, who I think has pitted in the P4. Yeah, so I think this is actually the legal. So Michael, Dave, Torrance and Gallant. Yuri's still there. It'll be interesting to see where Anthony comes back at in this. So, unfortunately, I think Dale has dropped. Where's Dale? Dale's dropped down a bit at this point. But right, I think at Dale at this point, you haven't done your second pit stop, would be my guess. Or maybe you have. Hard to tell. Is Is everyone else still running? I think everyone else is. So, how many pit stops have you done at this point, Liam? 2, 3, maybe more. Chaz is still gamely going round in 21st. Fair play to you, sir. And we had someone asking for Alexis, so... Whoa. Who knew you could go rallying in the Bentley? I am going to go on board with Tig once he gets through to the end of the lap. He's having a very good race in 15th. Pretty sure this is the best race he's had so far this season. Stop go 30 for Anthony, that's what happens. No, which is a shame because he was having a good race. So Michael's having a good race, Dave Ogden's having a good race. It's good to see Evo up there after a tough start to the season, so he's having a good race. I'd say Teague's having a good race as well. Sorry, Tig. And I'm about to go on board with him for a lap, and then I'm going to start pulling together the poll for driver of the day. I think Ryan Reed's going to be in there. He's had a very good race by the looks of it. And put it on pole as well, which is very impressive. Dale would be up there if he changed his tyres. Throaty Lexus of Tig Grady. Down to T1 he comes. Not quite as good over the curb as the BMW. So he was a bit delayed on the throttle on the exit though. Down towards T2. A little bit deep, but gets it turned in. He's going to go down to second. He keeps it in third. He's a brave boy in his Lexus. Takes 2 bites at this turn though. And down towards the chicane he comes. So you're going to cut that second curve. Yep. Oh, that's nice. That was a nice line through the chicane. Taking that well. That turned in nice and early. That's close, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I see it. I'm just going to try and find that. I'm just going to stay with Tig to the end of the lap. First. Waiting to get that power pump. Just waiting a little bit too long there. I've actually lost that. Yeah, we're going to go back and watch that, I think, Michael. Because that is actually a change of the lead. So, just pop here, find a good camera angle. Let's find when you do it. Hop, 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 hop. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Oh, it's a bit further back. Okay. I thought it was closer. Ah, well, that's not where you should be. Right. Ooh. I actually think you got away quite lightly with that, all things considered. Had a bit of contact with the... do you know how many seconds damage you got from that? She had a couple of bites at the fence initially, I think, but then somehow stayed out of everything. So I think Dave's going to get you at some point this lap. Apologies, I am slowly pulling together the driver of the day vote as well. That is ready to go, as and when, but let's see Dave make his move first, shall we? I think it's going to be pretty soon. And one of the things I've seen in the Discord as well is that I think lap 27 is going to be a bit of a four-way battle for the lead as well, so I'll make sure. Oh, you've got a bit. You're going to send it up the inside here. Knowing Dave, he's going to send it up the inside here. Yep, Dave does not miss a chance to have a go. He's got that done. So Dave has taken the lead with what? 9 laps to go. Let's see what happens. So who is leading? And we have Vitor Eusebio leading the way in AM class. His teammate in third, Ryan Reed, pole sitter, currently in second. That's an interesting line. Right. We're going to watch you for another lap and see whether you do that again. Hopefully we don't have a... yeah, no, I figured as much. I don't think it's quite the split one Spa Radion debacle we had going on. Yes. Your own teammate throwing you under the bus there. So let's go on board with the leader of AM class for a lap. It's another good sounding car, I think, the McLaren. I like the sound of the McLaren. It sounds aggressive. So Vitor, where did you finish last round? Because you were up there or thereabouts, if I remember. So there's a potential if you hold on to this lead, you're doing very well in AM class indeed, especially with Richard Mazan down the pack. P3, yeah. I had a feeling you were a podium sitter last round, so good few results for you. Very aggressive at the back there. It's brave. Much more conservative through the chicane than some of the BMWs we've seen, that's for sure, and the Bentleys. But you've got a decent lead here from Ryan, 10 seconds, and another 15 seconds back to Jose. You're in a pretty strong position here with not too long left. Watching for the rest of this lap. Oh, down to first, back up to second. and back off the throttle. Yeah, it's a tricky corner, that last one. So, Vito Eusebio leading the way. So lap 27. I think we all go back to the front. So I'm actually gonna keep further back until then, just to give some other people some screen time. So we've still got. So this is the battle we saw start after the pit stop. So Yuri, you came out in front of Felipe, didn't you? And yeah, you're right. That gap has not changed really. Still under 2 seconds. I think Anthony Fox has just popped in to serve his time penalty. He's now come out in front of Jose. I'm not skipping to lap 27. Absolutely not. We've got Jeffrey still trying to make his way through. Oh, yeah, he's saying right. So I thought you were saying skip two. I'm sorry. I'm not doing either. I'm either skipping to it or skipping it. We will all bask in your glory together. Don't you worry. That is Mr. Witter making his way past Ty, 15th, I believe. So Dale still P4 in class, but I'm not sure whether. Struggling to tell with this whether. I think maybe this is when he changed to new tires. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. Okay. So we're on lap 24. So lap 25. So we've got 2 laps to go until we make Michael's evening a misery. Already stopped twice, thanks Dale. Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes from the replay. I'm guessing this is when you change tyres, and maybe this is when you stopped originally. So still doing alright, still P4 in class. That's a pretty good drive. Now, unfortunately, I can only put 5 people in the drive of the day boat, I believe. One of them who is going to be in there, I think, is Mr. Zoricic. We haven't been with him a lot tonight, but you know, compared to how much we were with him for the first couple of races, he's probably delighted that he's not been on stream because we were with him for all the wrong reasons for the first couple of rounds. But it's good to see Evo back up there, doing well. He's our twice reigning AM champion, so this is his first season in silver class. Liam tried to punt him there in the background. It's good to see him. He's got good pace. Another driver who's improved a massive amount since he's been at PLR. We're on lap 26, so we're getting close. Ferreira's still going around with a slightly beat up BMW. Revrock as well. We've got a couple. So Ed, I think you're Dutch. I mean, I'm guessing by this, again, it's another orange, blue, and white McLaren. So we've got a couple of Dutch-themed McLarens, I think, in the split. Liam still heading around as well after 2 or 3 pit stops. Not sure at this point quite how many. Oh, that's right. You were in the Dayglow yellow last time. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I much prefer this. I like this a lot. Yeah. Thank you for that. Got Chaz Abraham close to someone. Still sending that Bentley in. Oh, it's still getting squirrely out most of the corners as well. Oh dear. That's alright. It's dry next week, Chaz. Fingers crossed. Good little battle this. I know I need to go up the front at some point. So, squirrely again. Who am I starting with? Michael on lap 27? Is that the best place to start? And while we start that, I'm gonna. Oh well, I've timed that perfectly, haven't I? So while we go back and go, everybody, get your popcorn. get your drinks, get whatever you. We're gonna have to go bonnet cam because of the spray. I am gonna put up the driver of the day vote. So get ready. This is gonna be good. Right, so driver of the day vote is up, I believe. Let me know if you can see it. This is the first time trying to do something like this. And let's watch this. So down the start finish straight we come. Oh dearie dearie, just couldn't get it turned in. Ah, now, so this is, I'm going to have to go back to view it from behind. I mean, you're fully on the brakes, there's not too much you can do here. Oh! Okay, yeah, so I want to talk about this. I know, Michael, we've chatted about this already. I'm going to go on board with Sorensen. So, yeah. You've done the right thing in that you've hit him. You've then tried to stop to them go through. Unfortunately, you've parked it quite close to the racing line. You've then tried to move out of the way just as Dave was turning. I think the best thing would have been to kind of just drive down here and go very slowly and wait for Dave to pass you rather than just parking it on the apex. That would probably be the best thing to do, but, you know, we live and we learn. The main thing is you tried to do the right thing, so it's all good. And you've made for some good battles. So now we've got a four-way battle for the lead, with a few laps left. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I imagine the main thing going through his head was, oh shit, I've hit first place. I don't want to get a place penalty considering where I am, so I need to let him go again. You're probably not thinking exactly where the cars behind you are at that point. So yeah, it's not easy. Oh crikey, we've got one raid. I don't think we've ever had a raid before. Well, thank you for the follow and the raid, Onin Racing. That's very kind of you. You are coming to us for the end of the PLR GT3 World Tour Split 2 watch party from Hungaroring. Thank you for the follow, Ben22 Racing. And this is the battle for first place, with about 4 laps to go. So those 4 cars you can see there in the front, you've got Michael Goodrum in the BMW. The lead did change, I missed it, sorry. Second place you've got in the blue Audi, Dave Ogden. Thank you for the follow, Demi's Plays. You've then got Sorensen in third and Bradley Gallant in fourth, so we've got about 3-4 laps to go here at Hungaroring. This is a watch party of a race that happened last night, so most of the drivers are in the chat as we kind of go through the replay together. We've just been watching the car currently in first place, who's lapping Ed Redrock there, the orange McLaren, punt his way into first place with some disgraceful driving. So unfortunately I think you've just missed that. But yeah, thank you for joining, much appreciated. So it does seem, Michael, you've just disappeared off into the distance here. You've managed to get past David halfway through the lap, and you're already 1.5 seconds clear, so it's worked alright for you. The Audi is not an easy car to drive in the wet. Oh, crikey. Right. I've gone full Australian. Right, we're going on board with Bradley. I've just seen that while chatting away. So he's lost it, and you've gone, right, I'm sending it full send. Oh. That's a tough one. So that is second and third place. No, third and fourth place coming together. To be fair, Bradley, I don't blame you with that one. I think you probably thought you were far enough to the inside on the left-hand side there, right? And potentially you were either going to get past before Sorensen came across, or he wasn't going to come across. But he's lost it on the curb, I guess. You've both got pretty big damage from that, unfortunately, it seems. So, that 14 seconds of damage, yeah. So, I mean, that's paid your chance of winning this race, unfortunately. So it means we have a straight shootout at the front between Michael and David, the silver class. Evo's having a stormer. He's up to third. He's loving it. He's loving the carnage. He's closed right in. So he's only 6 seconds off the lead. So great race for Evo. Yeah, well, nothing, Michael. Don't know what's happened. All we know is you're in the lead. We saw no punts. We saw nothing. Stickfort and Morner still battling away in 6th and 7th. Really good battle there. Matteo's had a very quiet race. I know you're in the chat, Matteo, but you've just been... I'm not sure we've seen you involved in anything particularly. You've just been poodling along there in your Aston Martin, currently in 8th place overall. The greatest football player who ever did live is currently leading AM class in 9th place on the track. Really good race from Vitor and Ryan Reed as well. Both of these are in the poll for driver of the day. Ryan Reed, who put it on pole for the first time in AM class, and Vitor, who is currently leading the race by about 10 seconds in AM class. So really good races for those two. And Jose Neves is currently in 3rd place in AM class, with Dale Atkins in 4th. I appreciate again Onid Racing the raid on the host, much appreciated. I think that's the first one we've ever had on PLR, and they've they've joined me chatting shit about Split 2. What a time to be alive. This is good. Dave trying to give you a bit of payback there. He's getting right up close to you down into T1. I can imagine he's going to be pretty feisty towards the end of this race, trying to get that P1 back. How many laps we've got left? 2 laps? Okay, so we'll keep an eye. We'll keep pretty close to this fight. I think we'll keep an eye closer down. But it looks as though Eusebio's got the win on the AM class, unless something drastic happens. So top 3 in silver: Gudrum, Ogden, and Zoricic. Watch Evo. This lap or next lap? Let me know. On last lap, okay. We'll switch over to Evo for the last lap. I want to keep an eye on this as well. And then we've got Eusebio, Reed, and Neves, the top 3 in AM class. 23 drivers still circulating in the wet at Hungary. It's very impressive considering some of the carnage that's happened lower down with putting on dry tyres by mistake or not changing tyres at all. Stop-go penalties, all sorts. So anyone who finishes gets a lot of kudos. Not the easiest conditions. As we come towards the final lap then. Now, I think I know the ending here because Michael was very keen to have a driver of the day vote, so I think Michael's probably going to pip it on the final lap, potentially. It's just a hunch. But let's follow Evo, shall we? This final lap. See what happens to Mr. Zoricic. If something bad happens, I'm going to feel quite bad because he's had a great race to get it up into 3rd place on the road. And just a reminder that the driver of the day vote is coming to an end if you haven't placed the vote already. Looking alright so far. So Michael's still leading. I'm keeping an eye on the deltas on the left here. You've got no votes. Well, that's what happens when you keep asking for a driver of the day vote. Nobody votes for you. I did see something from Evo in the chat that he's got a triple screen setup running off a laptop, which is brave. I must say. Oh, there we go. Oh no. Yeah, he's just lost it coming out. Well, kind of middle of sector 2 there, isn't it? And that's you and Sorensen past. That's Evo down to 5th. Is Stickball going to get past? No, he's much further back. Okay. Yeah, from 3rd to 5th on the last lap. Oh, that's a real shame. But I think I saw his new PC is arriving this week, so fingers crossed for Evo that doesn't happen again. So let's watch our race winner, shall we? Michael, I know you're in chat. Is this your first race win at PLR? I think it might be. So congratulations to you. You've had a very good week. You had a great driver swap stand-in performance on Sunday. And now you have won round 4 of split 2 of the GT3 World Tour. So congratulations. Really dominant drive. Including punting some people out of the way. No, joking. Very good. Well deserved. You had serious pace. Dave Ogden in second. Another good drive, as expected from Dave. Bradley, podium. Really good to see you back up there. The licorice car has come home in 4th. Andreas, well done there. Evo, who was going to get a podium until right at the end of the screen freeze, comes home in 5th. Stigvort 6th. Morna 7th. Sander Vito 8th. And still on his final lap, and someone I want to follow home, is Vitor Eusebio in his debut season here at PLR in AM class here in Split 2. Coming home from what I think will be, unless he bins it into the final sector, and the replay has ended. Oh no. Victor, we don't get to see your win. I'm assuming you have won. So we'll leave it here. Isn't that just sod's law? But in good news, while we don't get to see you win the race, you have won Driver of the Day with 50% of the votes. So congratulations. Not only did you win AM class, you won. It's your replay, Liam. Unfortunately. You have won Driver of the Day as well, so a double victory for Victor. Zoricic in second place in the voting, and then Michael, you got a vote in the end. Michael, David, and Ryan joint third. Ryan, who put it on pole in AM class. It's all good, Liam. That's part of the thing we have with having to watch a replay rather than watching live in Split 2. But we all get to watch it, not watch Victor's win together. So wonderful. But yeah, congratulations to all the drivers who finished. And Dale, I think, came home. Looks as though he came home 4th, despite pitting twice in AM class. So good to see you have a strong performance, Dale. Probably would have got a podium, if not better, if it wasn't for the double pit. So good to see you back there having a strong performance as well. You just needed Bob Jones to bugger off, apparently. That's what it is. So thank you to the Split 2 drivers. Thank you for joining. Next week, we are at Bassano. And it's not wet. It's dry. It is dark, though. I think the race is in the evening. So we are replacing the rain with the nighttime. So yeah, a 60-minute race at Bassano. I don't think there are any mandatory pit stops. I think this may be a 60-minute race with no mandatory pit stops. So a little bit different to what we've just had. And then we'll finish off the season with a 90-minute double stopper at Silverstone. And then the season finale, of course, at Bathurst. A 60-minute one-stopper. So 3 rounds to go. You've still got 24 hours to put in any stewarding inquiries you want to have looked at. We will update the points on SGP on Thursday morning. But yeah, again, congratulations to Michael Goodrum for his win, Dave Ogden and Bradley for their podium finishes in Silver class, and Vitor Eusebio for his win in AM class. Ryan Reed, I think your first podium finish at PLR in second place, and Jose Neves in third place. Thanks everyone for joining. Much appreciated. And I will see you next Tuesday to dissect Masano together in the dark, which will be good fun. Thank you very much, and chat to you soon. Bye bye.